Coming up today on the Raiders Report, the reasons why Vegas believes that the Las Vegas Raiders are going to end up drafting Anthony Richardson, and I'm going to give my reaction to that. But before I get into today's show, we are presented by AG1, and if you guys haven't already, go to the link that you see down below, athleticgreens.com/chatsports. I know when we always say, hey, new year, new me, and I am a big person on trying to get healthier because I know all the crazy, insane stuff that we do here on the Raiders Report. But when I say routine, I am a person where I need to wake up early in the morning. I love taking my AG1. I'll take Chuck on a little walk, you know what I do, and then I hit the gym before work. Covering my nutritional base literally couldn't be easier. When I think about pill takers, right, which there's going to be some people out there trying to get their vitamins in, trying to make sure that their collagen's there for your hair, whatever. I just picture like the Monday through Friday pill thing. I'm going to throw that away, and I'm able to take all of that goodness and put it into this simple, easy drink here, and I personally love it. I enjoy it. It's an easy way to get my day started. So if you haven't already, give them a look. I promise you, you're going to be feeling a lot better, and I'm sick right now. I might have needed to drink 2 of these bad boys. So one more time here, go to athleticgreens.com/chatsports. Y'all know my motto, where there is smoke, there is fire. And the smoke around Anthony Richardson of the Las Vegas Raiders is growing. Raider Nation, what's going on? You're watching the Raiders Report. Mitchell Renz here from Chat Sports. And one of the things that I wanted to be able to talk about here on today's show was the trending rumors of the Raiders being connected to Richardson. And I think after you get done watching today's show, you're going to be like, wow, I'm definitely going to start paying a lot closer attention to what's going on. So in terms of the Raiders, it's no secret. You have Jimmy Garoppolo, but they have the number 7 overall pick. Could they end up taking a quarterback with that pick? Right? Like, there's a possibility of it out there. And with Richardson, you look at his college production, it's not great. 2,549 yards, 17 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, a terrible completion percentage of 53.8%. So why is he even in the conversation to be taken at number 7? There are some people who think that he could even be the number 1 player taken. It's the upside at 6'4", 232 pounds. People are comping him to Cam Newton. He showed you literally at the NFL Combine, he might have been the most athletic quarterback ever at the Combine this past year. And because of the upside, that's why this question is so dang important. And this is where I want you all to be real with me. If Anthony Richardson is there at number 7, you're sitting there with Dave Ziegler, you're sitting there with Josh McDaniels. They look at you and they go, Jaime Alvarado Sr., are we taking him at number 7? Are you typing draft or are you typing pass? I'll give my answer a little bit later on today's show. So in terms of the smoke that's starting to pop up around Las Vegas, around Richardson, is as it stands right now, the Raiders are the betting favorite to draft him at plus 800 odds. If you keep close tabs on odds, you'll know that 800 is still not a big-time number. However, what I did think was interesting, and one of the things that I always look at is when odds jump. I remember this past season when Derek Carr got benched. The Raiders' odds against the Niners went from plus 6 to plus 9. As soon as I saw that, I go, oh, shit. That means Jarrett Stidham's going to end up starting this game. What happens? 5 minutes later, the Raiders announced that they're benching Derek Carr. So when you have Richardson go from plus 1,200 to plus 800 in a single day, something happened. What exactly happened? Maybe it's the news of coming out that Raiders general manager Dave Ziegler and assistant general manager Champ Kelly, they're going to be at Florida's Pro Day. They're going to be scouting Richardson, and they're going to be looking at him very closely. Yes, you can see a player at the Combine, but pro days are made essentially for you to not fail, to you to see that upside, to you to be in an environment that you're comfortable with, to throw to receivers that you like, that you know that there are frequencies with. Like, pro days are designed for you to excel, and if he does, the draft hype might continue to go. So does anybody else remember? Because when we talk about smoke, I also want you to continue to work with me here, right? Imagine like we're laying out a whole bunch of crackers, you're following them along, and then bang, right? There's the treat. That's what I try to do for Chuck sometimes when I want him to go to bed. Essentially, though, there was a report that came out, I'm going to say early March, around the Raiders could draft a quarterback that would shock some people. To me, You're not going to get shocked by C.J. Stroud. You're not going to get shocked by Bryce Young. Will Levis would be surprising. Hendon Hooker would be surprising. Another surprising pick would be Anthony Richardson. So this is what Hondo Carpenter had to say about the offseason and the Raiders potentially drafting a quarterback. I believe, based on what I'm hearing from NFL people, that probably all four of what's considered the top four quarterbacks won't be there after pick 5. And if they are, you're not going to see probably the one the Raiders like. A lot of people are asking me, why aren't you talking about the Raiders? Number one, because I think it might surprise some people. Not all, but some. Number two, I'm not going to do anything that would give the Raiders, which is the team I cover, give the opponents a competitive advantage. So one of the top quarterbacks out there that I said that I could see the Colts drafting is Will Levis. You go back and you look at a lot of the things that Indy has done. They have taken a more of a pocket passer with a big, strong arm. Peyton Manning, Andrew Luck. I was told by a very good source that that's the quarterback that Indy likes. So to me, I see C.J. Stroud and Bryce Young going 1-2. We'll see what Arizona decides to do. What happens then if Will Levis is off the board? I mean, if Anthony Richardson falls to the Raiders' lap at 7, it does deserve to be a conversation. So we're going to play that scenario out right now. The Raiders on the clock, picks at number 7. Will the Raiders draft Anthony Richardson? Give me a Y for yes, or give me an N for no. If you're unfamiliar on how the Raiders report works, is I'm going to be a show where I cover news, I cover rumors, and I like covering rumors because it gives me my ability to also put in my 2 cents and give you my personal opinion on whether or not I think the Raiders end up doing something. So, will the Raiders draft Anthony Richardson at number 7? My take is this: they will not take Richardson at number 7. If he falls down the board, then that question remains. I still am a believer. The way that the Raiders are constructing this roster, I think that there's a better chance that them actually trading back from number 7 than them actually picking at 7 or trading up to go get their quarterback. If you trade back and you're able to get an extra second and you're able to get a first-round pick in the middle and you're able to get a Devin Witherspoon, a Joey Porter, maybe Chris Gonzalez falls to you, Kalijah Cansey, hell, Jalen Carter stock continues to fall. And then the Raiders are sitting there with picks 38 and they're sitting there with maybe another second-round pick that they used to trade back, and Richardson starts falling down the board because teams are afraid. Well, then wouldn't surprise me then if the Raiders wanted to say, all right, let's trade up and try to get our quarterback. But the rumors around the Raiders going to his pro day, the Raiders have met with every single top-tier quarterback. They've met with C.J. Stroud. They've met with Bryce Young. They've met with Will Levis. They've met with Hendon Hooker. They are now going to Anthony Richardson's pro day, and they met with him at the NFL Scouting Combine. So what I want you to think about, though, is this, because we continue to talk about Richardson. We continue to talk about the rumor mill, right? Let's go back to this tweet. Dave Ziegler and Champ Kelly will be at Anthony Richardson's pro day on Thursday. When I read this, and the reason why I made this video is because I got this report, and instantly I thought, all right, there's going to be a lot of people. I saw the Vegas odds jump. I saw everyone like, oh no, Anthony Richardson, and the reason why there's so much hype around him is because he's an incredible athlete. Nobody's ever going to dispute that. But hear me out here. If the Las Vegas Raiders were seriously considering drafting Richardson, wouldn't McDaniels be there too? McDaniels was at Bryce Young's pro day. McDaniels was at C.J. Stroud's pro day. McDaniels is going to be the guy running the offense. And I get it. McDaniels probably trusts Ziegler. McDaniels probably trusts, Champ Kelly. But in my heart of hearts, I know deep down that McDaniels is a big all-about-me guy. And if he was legitimately looking at Anthony Richardson, I feel like he would be there too. Maybe I'm reading into it a little bit too much, but I do think that it should be something we should at least consider. For all those reasons, I don't believe the Raiders are going to take Anthony Richardson at number 7. Coming up next here on the Raiders Report, let's get into a Richardson scouting report, his strengths, his weaknesses, what NFL scouts are saying about him, and why the hype is absolutely insane. Before I get into that, though, please take a second. If you're looking for more Raiders news, hit that subscribe button. If you want more of my takes around the silver and black, if you like interacting with the nation, then please do so. This past week, maybe 2 weeks during NFL free agency, we've been spot on. I put out 3 videos in the last week saying the Raiders are going to sign O.J. Howard, the Raiders are going to sign Austin Hooper, the Raiders are going to sign DeAndre Carter. 3 for 3. I'll tell you what, if I would have been 3 for 3 in baseball, I might still be playing right now. If you want to see another video that I put out on the Raiders Report YouTube channel, it's this one. This is the thumbnail to it. You can go on the channel. You can find it. I'll put it in the comments also so it's a little bit easier in the description. But I believe that the Raiders need to sign this guy. Do you know who it is? If you've watched it before, shout out to you. If you haven't, it's just another reason to subscribe to this channel. I promise you, we're dedicated, and we're going to keep you up to date. So let's keep rocking here with the scouting report around the Florida quarterback Anthony Richardson. And this one's coming in from Daniel Jeremiah. Dual threat quarterback with an elite physical profile and a lot of work that needs to be done to reach a potentially high ceiling. Richardson's frame, arm talent, and mobility will demand respect as a potential first-round option. He has the ability to make plays on the move that very few of his NFL peers will be able to make. However, his accuracy on short and simple throws left much to be desired due in part to shoddy footwork and inconsistent rhythm. The footwork issues can be corrected, but the challenge will be determining whether he can be at least a functionally accurate passer at the next level. Richardson's potential to strike with the deep ball, attack the secondary from sideline to sideline, and gash teams with his legs creates greater leeway in his projection as a developmental prospect. Now, I agree with a lot of the stuff that Jeremiah said. Like, when I sat down and I watched the tape, these were my strengths for Richardson. His upside, it's the best of any quarterback in this class. You could talk about Bryce Young. You can look at C.J. Stroud, Will Levis. If you were to tell me which quarterback has the chance to be the best quarterback in the NFL out of all three of those guys, I'll say Richardson. I don't think it's going to happen right away. He definitely needs time to work, but it's because of that speed. It's because of that size, that athletic ability. He has that Cam Newton athletic ability that, I'm sorry, like, you just don't see that very often. And then you got that outstanding arm strength. If you let him sit for a year and you let him learn an offense, he's got the upside. But you got to know in Vegas, there's a really good chance that he's going to be hit and miss. Are you willing to flip a coin on a quarterback that you're taking at 7? That's my question here with Richardson. In terms of some of his weaknesses, he definitely needs to improve on his pre-snap recognition. And I do think that's one of the things that you can learn that. Look, playing in the SEC, he definitely got exposed at times. His mechanics are bad, and they are inconsistent. They are not only bad, but having inconsistent mechanics, it's definitely worrisome. His accuracy definitely has to get improved. But the one thing, I do think that he actually sees the field. But just because you see the field doesn't mean that you're going to be able to make the throw if your mechanics are bad. So you have him sit for a year, you learn the proper mechanics, and then hopefully you have a player who's accurate. And with that athletic ability, good luck, defensive coordinators. Before I wrap up today's show, I do want people to continue to interact with me on social media, places like Twitter, Instagram. I'm on Locals as well. We do live shows over there, and I did just launch my Cameo. So if you want me to give a birthday shout-out, you want to chug a beer, you want to give a fun little gift idea, it is available there. Also, this might surprise you, at Mitchell Renz 365. So before I wrap up today's show, you're going to see a lot of rumors around Richardson and the Raiders on Thursday because Ziegler, because Champ Kelly are going to be at his pro day. So I'm going to release this video giving my opinion, simply saying that I do not believe the Raiders are going to end up taking Richardson at number 7.